Yeah. Morning on the dock, coffee in the cup, Arkansas on deck. Everybody wake up, Ty got the clubs out, chasing that green. Far off in Idaho, living the dream. Tommy on the mic, breaking it down. Scores on the board and the buzz in town. Razorback talk with a grin and a shout. We bring the heat when the sun comes out. One more swing, one more call. Who's on top? Who set the bar? Roll that tape, let it fly. Tying Idaho, Tommy on the rise. Ty and Tommy, let it run. Morning rush, we've just begun. Ty and Tommy, swing and shout. Arkansas, all the way out loud. Ty and Tommy, here we go. From the tee box to the studio. Ty and Tommy, raise it high. We start the day and we light the sky.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston with Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Well, the Morning Rush House Band with another zinger this morning. Ty is out. He is in Idaho playing golf. Apparently, he's already injured himself, and the trip has just begun. But the crew's all here. Tommy, what did they say? Tommy behind the mic? Christian's here, and we got our old buddy Clay Henry this morning. Clay, we're going to have to go back and talk to the house band because I didn't hear your name in that song. So we're going to need a new song tomorrow. I don't know if Doc Severinson's back there listening, but whoever our Doc Severinson is, we got to have something with Clay in it tomorrow for our open on a football Friday. Clay, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here. I appreciate the chance to sit in Ty's place. I don't know if I can fill his shoes, but that's okay.
Well, he does wear a 7.5B, so I don't know if you could either. But
I can't fit in that.
But there's not
I have
many
a good foundation.
There's not many times I'd like to trade places with Ty Richardson, but I'm going to tell you, golf in Idaho right now does sound pretty tempting. Does sound pretty tasty.
Might be a little cooler.
We got some rain in the south of the tunnel last night. I think there was some rain in Benton and Washington counties. Well, you getting rain?
Yeah, I'm in Rogers.
Okay.
As we speak, I've got some business here yesterday and today, and so I came over, did my usual shopping, and hit my stores, and yeah, it's.
Did you go club?
We had some rain.
Did you go clubbing? That's what us old folks now say. When you go to Sam's, we're going out clubbing tonight. We're going to get a hot dog and a Coke, and we're going to walk around Sam's. That's at my house. That's what when me and my wife go clubbing, we made a trip to Sam's.
So clubbing stopped for me at the time I met Jean Ann.
Now clubbing is going to Sam's
or Costco
and getting
or
some
Big Creek.
Yeah,
to Big Creek.
Well, you got to go buy your toilet paper and your paper towels and all of those things. All right, we got a full show today. Practice schedule's out. Ryan Silverfield's laid it out, and we're going to get right into that here in just a minute. We lost a legend yesterday. Later in the hour, we're going to talk about Billy Ray Smith Jr. and his legacy. You got to be of a certain age to really remember his playing days. You can probably be a little on the younger end like me, remembering Billy Ray, because Big C, you probably, you know the name Billy Ray Smith Jr. because you've opened a media guy, but you don't even remember his professional playing days, do you?
The name Billy Ray Smith.
And there's a senior and a junior that both have Arkansas ties. So, anyway, we're going to get into that. Clay is the perfect person. I'm so glad you're here to my right today because you are the ideal person to have in for this conversation. We'll talk about that. Dave Van Horn met with the media. We played a lot of clips from that earlier, but Clay, I know you've got some thoughts and some takes. Nolan Sousa coming back, Pompey coming back. I'm going to let you pronounce the Japanese player's name.
He's the Japanese pitcher.
We're going to talk about that.
He's the big right-hander.
So we got a lot to get to here throughout the course of the next 2 hours here on the Morning Rush. It's brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. 479-587 3300 is her number. Rock, sand, gravel, all the aggregates you need for any job site, whether it's laying the foundation, getting the footings ready, and all the things you need to pack in there and get compacted to make sure that you're building on solid ground, or whether it's the sidewalks and the driveways and the final things after you've done the footings and the foundation and everything, APAC's got you covered. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group. Well, the camp schedule is out. They say fall camp schedule. I am eliminating the word fall because it's been 105 degrees. We ain't going to call anything fall, but practice will begin. Practice 1 of 25 practices ahead of the North Alabama game will be next Wednesday, less than a week away, on August the 5th. We will hear from Ryan Silverfield in the pre-camp press conference Monday, August 3rd. And a few takeaways I had, and Clay, I'd love to hear this from you. We're back to practicing in the afternoons. We was talking about this with Big C before the show. 3:15 practices for basically the entire first week and a half of camp through practice number 9. There's a 1 o'clock scrimmage on a Sunday, which is unusual. I know you got some thoughts on that. But that ties in perfectly to prepare this team who plays their first game at 3:15 in the afternoon. So that was my first take in reading over the schedule is, hey, we're going to practice when you're going to play your first game. That was one thing I love, that how Ryan Silverfield set this up.
I love the Sunday practice thing. I'll take you back to when Bobby Petrino got here. The practice schedule came out. I believe it was a spring practice, and they had a Sunday practice date. I got a call from a local pastor, and he goes, we need to fix this. That's the day of rest. We're not having football practice. I said, here's his address. Go over there and see him. I said, I want to be close by.
Let me know how that goes.
Yeah, I want to be close by. I don't want to be in the room because I don't want to be associated with what you're going to try to get done. But I want to be outside where I hear what he's going to say to you, Pastor.
Yeah.
And he goes, do you think that it might go badly? And I said, I know it's going to go badly.
So team will go at 3:15, shorts and helmets the first 3 days. Full pads come on practice number 6. They kind of do a hybrid there in between on practice 4 and 5. But full pads, full contact. Now, we always say that first day of full contact. That's not really true, Clay. There'll be plenty of contact even in just shells and shorts and helmets these first 5 practices. I've been to many of these. You've been to a lot more. They still get after it pretty good.
Yeah, especially the linemen. They're going to put on shoulder pads and helmets. They're not going to tackle. They're not going to go to the ground. Not going to scrimmage, but they will hit. And it's a physical game, and I think the more you hit, the better prepared you are for the first game.
Yeah.
And they cut back on the amount of scrimmage plays, but they call it thudding, and it is a thud when you hear it. They say that the shoulder pads are, the leather is popping. It's as much plastic as it is leather anymore. But yeah, they will thud and hit even in these early practices.
All right, I've got a few more takeaways, but feel free to jump in here. I know, the Sunday is unusual. There's a scrimmage, the first scrimmage planned for Sunday, August 16th at 1 o'clock. It's closed. There is no indication on the schedule of any time where the public will be allowed to come view practice. The second scrimmage is closed to the media, as is the first scrimmage. Ryan Silverfield will speak following the first one. There's a long stretch towards the tail end of camp where no coaches will be available to the media. I thought that was interesting, but we got a few more takeaways. Coordinators will be available early and late. You'll hear from players throughout, position coaches throughout. But my first big thought when I looked at this yesterday afternoon was, I like we're not avoiding the heat of the day. We're getting this team prepared to play in the heat of the day. That was my first big, thought when reading it over.
They can still go inside and getting ready for the time is as important as the heat. The normal progression to, the first kickoff, you want to be practicing around that time. That helps you 1 week. The next week you're playing late at night. I don't think you want to practice late at night. The Utah game is starting, 9:15 or something like that?
Yeah, our time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tommy, the what we've got now is another indication that we're not going to see a whole lot. And what we know about this team will come after they play games, not before games. We're not going to see enough. they've got some windows where you can go out there and see who's there, but then you're not supposed to report on who's there or who's not. I guess that'll slip out anyway, right? Usually does.
Usually, yeah.
But yeah,
We got our talking to in the email about what they do and don't want reported, and that's for I always
it's a deal. You want to watch, you go by their rules.
you go by their rules. Why it wasn't Wingo? Who was the player that got injured in Petrino's scrimmages in the stadium and broke an ankle? Niall Davis broke his ankle in practice, and you couldn't tweet or text from the stadium, but the media rushed outside the gates to report on this. And that was the end of it. We never, that was the end of getting to watch any kind of real practice at that point, because Niall Davis's parents found out he was injured and his season was over before the coaches or anyone could even call them.
Yeah,
and that's part of why they do what they do. If someone gets injured, it needs to be handled in the right way. And that always stuck out to me from 15 years ago or whatever it's been. That wasn't handled in the right. That's the media as a whole didn't do a very good job that day, and Niall Davis's parents shouldn't have found out the way they did.
No, I think you're right, and I can remember another incident that Houston was upset and wanted to ban cell phones from practice, and you can do that if you want to. Just nobody pull out a cell phone, and that's what he did. But there was a fight at practice involving Sean Andrews. It didn't last long, but
I wouldn't imagine it did.
But that got reported on the airwaves immediately and got back to Sean's mom, and Houston had to explain, that it wasn't much of a fight, and there wasn't this and it wasn't that. It's don't get my baby hurt.
Yeah.
I think, Mama, we're worried about the rest of them,
worried
not
about
Sean.
the other guy, not Sean. We're not worried about him. All right, we'll talk more about fall camp and the schedule, Ryan Silverfield's availability, and just honestly just talk about the football team. I want to inform you about the camp. I know there's a lot of hard opinions that Clay and I will have on camp schedule, but more information than anything.
We're gonna predict the season, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna come up with win totals. Lock them in granite today.
Put my paycheck on them. Yeah.
Hey, the Pradco store is open inside the brand new Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith, and Clay, you can go in there. Bruce has got a store within a store set up, and you can put Clay Henry on there. You can put your phone number on there. You can put, Hogs Illustrated's logo on there if you want it. I mean, you can put the Morning Rush on there. You can put a picture on there. It's amazing what you can do these days with customizing any of their lures. So if that interests you, or you think, man, what would be a perfect gift for my customers or my employees that love to fish? How about you put your company logo on there on these lures? Go check it out. It's the Pradco store inside the Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith. I remember somewhere in my house, I have got a Clay Henry customized lure that Bruce made when you retired from Whole Hog Sports and Hogs Illustrated. He made up a series of some lures with your name, and there was some message on it. I've got one somewhere.
It says retirement or something like that, or have fun in the sun. I don't know, but I think they produced about 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
Custom made, with my name on them.
3 in the Hall of Fame, and the rest are just floating around. I've had mine on eBay for a while.
Yeah, Ty asked for one.
I've got a $6 bid on it right now.
Yeah,
it's a $9 lure.
Ty wanted one, and I said no.
Yeah, he probably cut his finger on it. Apparently, he injured himself. Yes. I don't know anything about this.
Had blood all over his
Big
shorts.
C was saying there was an injury that drew blood before the trip began.
Yeah, so he was in the airport with blood all over himself.
What'd he do?
That's a good question. I don't think he gave that information, but one can only infer what he. I mean, shaving? No, it would be shaving.
No. Well, I've got the perfect smart aleck answer, but I better keep it to myself at this point. Hey, one of the best things we get to cover, and we've had 2 now, which is kind of unusual, it's kind of new, is a Dave Van Horn postseason press conference. Clay, of all the things we get to listen to and cover, usually Dave Van Horn's postseason thoughts are more candid than anything you get maybe in the calendar year from any coach. He's had 2 now. He had one the other day, and I know you listened.
Yes.
Were you weren't? I don't think you were there, but I know you.
No, it was a Zoom.
You followed the Zoom along, and just want to get your thoughts. We're going to dive deeper. We got some different clips today we didn't play yesterday, but I know you follow it closely, and I thought some of the follow-up from the Major League Baseball draft, more thoughts on players from Tennessee and SEC players coming in was really good. What stood out to you with Sousa and Pompey coming back and all the other news he had to deliver following the professional draft?
Well, in a big picture, 50,000 feet, what's it look like? They dodged it. They had the draft pretty much figured out of what they were going to get. As far as the transfer portal, there were 3 players they didn't get. They knew that was going to be close on all 3. They figured what they were going to get coming back, but I don't think they counted on Sousa and Pompey. So I think that was that's the major uplifting thought that came out of that. And
so hey, let's put a pin in this here and talk about this point, because it's so new, the 5 for 5,
yes,
that the NCAA and the leverage it creates for the player. Let's go a little deeper on that, because I don't think you get these guys back without this now 5th year and what the NCAA has done to, at least in baseball, create some leverage for players.
Yeah, so it's almost the draft is going to be by and large an $150,000 deal in those late rounds. They can offset that with NIL, come pretty close to that. Maybe not all the way, but so the NIL and the revenue share allows them to have a little money for those guys, and then the idea that they still have leverage next year. And for both of these players, there's a reason why they've got a chance to really improve. I think that what you saw with Pompey as the year went along, Nate Thompson was able to give him a little better clue of how to recognize spin, lay off that slider that's off the plate. And then for Nolan, who's turned out to be a really good friend, we fish together and I keep up with him. He wasn't able to lift weights with his upper body until really late in the season last year. In other words, he could lift with his legs, but because of that dislocated shoulder and the surgery, he didn't have any upper body strength until the very end. You saw a little bit, but I think that his chance for improvement is massive. He's got all the tools, Tommy. The speed. Mm-hmm. I think his arm strength is coming back. His power is coming back with his bat, and he's good defensively. I think that maybe the strength of his shoulder and throwing arm will increase, and it'll be even better. He might be a shortstop before it's all over, although I would guess Marin, the Tennessee transfer, is their shortstop.
All right, we're going to get more into that. There's an international player from Japan on the roster. We got some more clips from Dave Van Horn coming up. But, just to tie this up for this segment, getting TJ back and the way Dave talked about being the best athlete, versatile, could play outfield or infield, that's a big lift. I think anytime you get your best athlete back, that I don't know how you view that anything other than a positive.
Oh no, it's outstanding, and he is versatile. He didn't have his best year defensively. Didn't have his best year offensively. I think that.
What do you have, like 80 some odd strikeout? I mean, wasn't good.
Set the school record for strikeout, but the ceiling for him is way up there. I think that we all recognize his bat speed. It's just he's got to recognize pitches, and when he does, he hit it a long way. Yeah.
He's like Serrano in Major League. Fastball hit very much.
I think you're right. There's something there.
Curveball not so much.
Yeah, and
I say up your butt, Joe Boo.
Yeah, you just can't swing. You just can't swing at pitches that are off the plate.
Yeah,
they're not hittable. It's none. Ted Williams couldn't hit those. He didn't try. You could tell where they were.
On his takes, they're not saying good eye, good eye, good eye enough.
They're not saying that.
We need more guys in the dugout saying good eye, good eye, good eye.
I think what they were saying a lot, you can do it next time. Get him next time.
Get him next time. Hey, 1 out of 3 puts you in the Hall of Fame, but we got to get him to that level. All right, we'll talk some more football. We're going to get into some thoughts on the legacy and the life of Billy Ray Smith Jr. We'll do that later on this hour. Glad Clay's here for this conversation today. And football season, we're closing in. We're talking about practices starting. a week from yesterday. So we are inside a week to go to practice, and head coach Ryan Silverfield will lead the team out into 2026 with 7 home matchups in Fayetteville, beginning with the season opener on September the 5th. SEC play kicks off versus the Georgia Bulldogs on the 19th of September, and the Thanksgiving weekend rivalry returns as the Hogs host the LSU Tigers. Season tickets are just start at just $300. Get more details online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com. How are I know you're going to the Hall. We got about a minute here. You're headed to a Hall of Fame banquet honoring. I know Ray Tucker is the sportscaster nominee, or not nominee, but inductee today. I know that you're going to be a part of that Hall of Fame that you're a member of today. That in their banquet.
Well, yeah, it's the Arkansas Sports Writers, Sportscasters Hall of Fame. We're having a luncheon in Springdale at the two at Homes 2 Hotel, right there in Springdale, across from the Convention Center. Ray Tucker is the sportscaster. Steve Wright, longtime Fayetteville guy, is the sports writer. Wrote 2 books, outdoor books. These are good friends of mine. It'll be a fun day, Tom.
Yeah, so looking forward to it. Ray Tucker's one of the legendary names in our state. So very fitting he would be in that Hall of Fame. All right, your calls and texts are welcome. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open. You got something for Clay? Call or text us 877-377-6963. We'll get to those. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Our Hog Update is on the way. We'll do that next. It's the Morning Rush, ESPN Arkansas, and the Hit That Line Now app.
Find us on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. This is the Morning Rush, and this isn't.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with, I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Darren McFadden goes 73 yards. And has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
What you'd like to do is have 3 or 4 guys return, have 4 or 5 freshmen, and have maybe a transfer if you need one. That's what it was. But now you end up with one. You know, we reclassed, and you're going to see more and more reclass. You're going to see it more and more. That kids, right now they'll talk about the 27 class. My guess is there are going to be about 6 or 8 28s that'll move into 27.
Billy Richmond and the rest of the Razorback team are in the Bahamas, and that's, of course, John Calipari you heard from there. This is our Hog Update this morning. Clay, this is a perfect time for a team to take an international trip like this. I know the Bahamas isn't, you know, what most of us would consider truly international, but they're getting out, they're getting some practices, which are important. They're going to get to play. And they got 4 games coming up, as we've talked about. But what are your thoughts? Me and you had a conversation about this. What are your thoughts on this roster? He was talking about players reclassifying. He's got a very young team. What are some of your summer takeaways? A lot of people are interested in what John Calipari's put together.
Well, the number one thing that you have to say is that when they get off the bus, they're going to look like a basketball team. 2/3 of the players are going to have to duck their heads coming down those steps. And big guys do well in basketball, and that's the reason why the 94 and 95 teams, both got to the final game. I mean, they had a huge lineup.
5 guys 6'11" or taller
on this team.
On this team, looking at this roster.
Yeah, and the length is there throughout the roster. To be honest, they've got big guards. Smith is a huge human being for a guard, and he will. These guys will be able to dominate you physically. They're quicker, they're faster, they're longer. This is an athletic team. I think they're going to be a joy to watch. There's going to be a lot of fun moments, but you keep having to tell yourself, when they screw up, that they're freshmen and they're going to screw up more early than they are late. All of Cal's teams get better because he coaches them hard. And he likes the idea that these freshmen will listen to him. They're not going to sit there on the bench and think, I don't know where this John Calipari came from.
Yeah.
The old players tend to think that.
Yeah. 9 players are a redshirt. Wait, Semedo is a redshirt freshman. The rest are true freshmen. But 9 of your roster spots have a freshman tag on their year. Semedo, by the way, is wearing 99, which is something you can now do, but we've never seen a number 99 in basketball, and you will this year. So that's one note from the roster.
I think that frustrates the referees, doesn't it, Tommy?
No, I mean it not really. I mean it's new. But
That's
the
a referee
NBA is
talking. That's why I asked him.
The NBA's had 7 and 9 and numbers like that because everybody wants a single-digit number, so they've had them for a while. So I understand.
You just hold up 9 twice, right?
Just hold up 9 twice.
You can't hold up 9 without. Yeah, you'd have to.
It's not 54. It's 9 is. You got to use your voice.
Just don't show them one thumb.
Use your voice. Yeah. All right. Play tomorrow, 6 p.m. Flow Sports. Saturday at 5 p.m. No game Sunday. Play Monday and Tuesday. So when we get here Monday, we'll recap hopefully a couple of games that hopefully we've seen with no issues from the Bahamas on Flow Sports.
No buffering?
No, yeah. Hopefully you've got good internet. Hopefully they have good internet down there and no choppiness.
I have no hope.
To the analysis.
I'm going into it with no expectations for what the quality is going to be. I do know we're going to get to listen to Matt Zimmerman, so it's going to sound like it's one of, it's our broadcast. Because Matt is going to, he's going to ooh and ah on our players, no doubt.
You don't think he'll homer up any?
That's what I want from him. If he doesn't, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah. All right, we talked a little bit about baseball a minute ago. We're going to get back to Dave Van Horn. The other hog update for you this morning is the Arkansas fall schedule is out for football practices. First practice number 1, is a week from yesterday, Wednesday, August 5th. There's 25 total practices, includes 2 scheduled scrimmages, which seemed one light to me, Clay. I mean, generally there's been 3, but 2 scrimmages, one on the 16th, one on the 22nd. None of it's open to the public. It's going to be partially open to the media throughout the camp, but neither of the scrimmages are open for viewing. Ryan Silverfield will meet with the media 4 times over the next month. His radio show begins the 26th. We'll hear from the coordinators at the beginning and the end of camp as well. And the first full pad practice will be August 11th. That's the setup for the season, which is moving ever so close, and camp less than a week away.
The question remains, who is the quarterback? We think it's going to be KJ Jackson, the lefty. How that goes and is going to play a large role in how this season goes. I mean, I hate to just put it like that. Offensively, they needed superhuman plays from Taylor Green and Mike Washington to score. Do they have a guy like that on this roster? I don't think they do. So I think that the point totals will be lower because if you don't have a home run hitter, you just have to grind it out in the SEC, and it's a tough deal. I know we're going to count turnovers and penalties.
Yes.
But big plays, where are they coming from? That's my big question about this team.
I don't know if they have the size and the depth on both lines. They've got a few guys, Quincy Rhodes on the defensive line. They've got a couple players that I think are SEC level players. I don't know if they have enough dudes at the line of scrimmage to win 6 or 7, but I think if they just clean up penalties and turnovers, this is a team that will double their win total at a minimum from last year.
Yeah, the question is where's the scoring coming from? And early in the spring, it sounded like the defense was dominating, and that's a good thing. You want your defense to be like that, but it still reminds me of who the big playmakers are.
All right, that's your hog update this morning. It's brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Celebrate freedom and fun during the red, white, and blue sale that's going on at Burton Pools and Spas. Cool off in a Doughboy above-ground pool and get up to $1,500 back on in-stock pools. If you're looking for a more built-in feel, they have semi-in-ground pools starting at just $199 a month, or create the ultimate getaway with an in-ground pool and enjoy a half-price tanning ledge with select packages right now. Burton Pools and Spas, now up to 5 locations in our area. They're in Fort Smith, they're in Greenland, Springdale, Hot Springs, and now Joplin, Missouri as well. Online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life. Morning Rush Daily Question in just a minute, and then we're going to talk about the legacy and the life of Billy Ray Smith Jr. with Clay. We'll do all of that coming up. You can call us or text us. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open, 877-377-6963. Morning Rush Daily Question next here on the Morning Rush.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Come here to play a good 30 minutes of football. We came here to play 60. Okay? We came here to play 60.
This is The Morning Rush.
What could you do with $10,000? Well, now's as good a time as any.
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard. I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for circuit judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you in everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights, because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
Take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Passionate about sports? If yes, let's take that passion and put it to work growing your business. I'm Rita Newton with ESPN Arkansas, and I help people like you that own businesses connect them with our avid and loyal sports listeners through the power of radio with sharing your words, plus offering digital solutions. Whether you need more customers or more traffic on your website, I am your girl. So email me at rita.newton@hitthatline.com or call me at 479-353-1242. One email or one call away to working on a business plan to help you grow your business.
West, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
West, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, we need audience participation in this to really make it work, because I think I know the answer of the panel here behind the microphones today. But Morning Rush Daily Question. We were just talking about the basketball team, their trip, and they're in the Bahamas. and it's only available on the Flow Sports app. We had a question earlier. I want to know if it's Stephen from Jonesboro. Will the game be available for listening? No. There is no radio broadcast for this game. Morning Rush Daily question. Are you going to download the Flow Sports app? My understanding is it's $30. I heard Bart talking on Chuck and Bo about if you're an Amazon Prime member, there might be a back door. But, Clay, are you downloading the Flow Sports app? Are you interested enough to spend the $30?
So I have the Flow Sports app on my TV, and so I don't have to download it. All I have to do is just click on it. And
so are you paying the $30 or whatever?
I'll probably pay for – now, the way I understand it, it's 30 days. So you get all 4 games in 1 month. It's not like you're paying for July and then you have to pay for August too.
I think that's correct.
It's a 30-day window. And we've done that for baseball. Now, I'll go to those games in Arlington, but my wife wants to watch, so we always download it for 1 month and then delete it. So we've done it periodically. And
is it a pain?
It's not hard to do, Tommy.
All right. So
this is I think even Ty could do it.
All right. And it's an app on your TV, like if you have a Roku or a Vizio, whatever kind of TV.
If you have a smart TV, you
have a smart TV, there's a Flow Sports app. So what I'm telling you is if Clay Henry, no offense meant, but if Clay Henry at 70-some-odd years old, I won't give the number, can get it done, I think the rest of us can figure it out. So I'm going to do this. Now, I'm traveling some with my bride this weekend, but I am specifically packing – I've got a Roku I travel with that I can just hook. I keep an HDMI cord. Any hotel room I go in, I can easily hook up my Roku and, binge watch.
You're a step
something.
ahead of me.
Well, I mean, it's just a little small deal. You just plug it in the HDMI and the USB for power, and off you go. And that way, if we want to binge watch a show or I'm, something I normally be on my TV at home, I can easily do that without hooking my computer up to the TV. So
we had Wi-Fi in our KOA in Montana. I could have done that. I've got an extra Roku. I need to figure that out. That needs to be a new. It
stays
in
travel
partner.
I never even take it out of my travel bag. It just stays in my suitcase the whole way. Ryan in Prairie Grove says no, he's not downloading. An HR guy says, imagine falling for the Flow scam to watch a game that does not matter. And B in Clarksville says that's a no for me, dog. So I'm going to do it, but this is what we do. I don't feel like I'm doing the audience service if I don't watch these games.
I want to see them.
And be able to talk about it with some level of intelligence, because I know my broadcast partner on Monday will have no clue, not one clue about what happened with this team. None. Might not even know if they won or lost the game.
We're dependent on you, Tommy.
So, yeah, I feel like I'm shouldering the burden. Even though I've got a little weekend getaway with my bride, I'm still going to make sure that, that I take these games in.
Here's the other thing. I bet she likes to watch the basketball team.
She doesn't mind it. She'll read a book or she'll play on her phone or something while I'm doing. She won't mind me doing that. And the thing is, basketball's 2 hours.
I got to be careful what I say, because my wife might be listening. She does listen to us. I think she wants to make sure that I really am doing the show.
Yeah.
It's like dodging chores. So what I know is going to happen, this game doesn't mean anything, right?
Right.
When they're shooting free throws, when the other team is shooting free throws, she's going to yell rebound at the TV. When we're shooting free throws, she's going to yell make your free throws at the TV.
She's into it. She knows what's going on.
She does. She is into it.
Yeah. All right, that's the Morning Rush Daily Questions brought to you by Cart Path Social. The #1 place for golf indoors, and indoor anything right now is better than outdoor everything, just about. They've got the AC cranked down to 68. Cool times are rolling right now at Cart Path Social. You can ask about summer memberships as well. It's the place for scratch golfers or the novice or someone trying to improve their game. If you're into the numbers and spin rates and launch angles and all angle of attack and all those metrics, they can do that for you. They've got all of the gear there for that. They're there 7 days a week, rain or shine. Cart Pass Social can help you get your game rounded out as well. Ask about summer leagues that are now underway. Cart Pass Social is also BYOB, so you can always bring your own food and drink as well. They're in Lowell, so be sure and stop in and see them at 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Book your bays and reservations online at cartpasssocial.com or call 479-487-3622 for Cart Path Social.
Kane, straight back. Looking. Being rushed. There they go. Billy Ray Smith. First play of the ball game. And the ball is fumbled, and Billy Ray Smith recovers for Arkansas. Kubiak keeps it, and he's dropped for a loss. Billy Ray Smith. Kubiak looks for Whitwell. He's got pressure. The ball is not loose. Arkansas's got the football. Billy Ray Smith.
You know, few players have probably ever represented the University of Arkansas on the defensive side of the ball better than Billy Ray Smith Jr. And sad news yesterday when we learned of his passing. Clay at a very young age of 64. Billy Ray Smith Jr., we lost him yesterday. The family attributes his passing to CTE, which has been long reported with deaths and the study of brains with football players and people in these high contact sports. But man, when you talk about all-time defensive players, this is a guy whose name goes right in there with the Lloyd Phillips of the world and the Dan Hamptons. You don't get very far with the greatest players ever on the defensive side without Billy Ray Smith Jr.'s name being mentioned.
Two-time unanimous All-American,
Mm-hmm.
consensus All-American. He was a great player from the first day he stepped on the practice field at Arkansas. Probably weighed 225, 6'4", played 6 inches off the ground, was a slithering snake, quick as could be, like a water moccasin strikes. Don Lindsay had a blast. The defensive coordinator that liked to draw up lots of stunts. Played him inside when Billy Ray first got there. Then they hired Don Lindsay as defensive coordinator. He moved him to stand-up end, which is where he played in the NFL. But whether he was in a 2-point stance or a 3-point stance, he was so quick, so impossible to block. I think 63 tackles for losses, which is way ahead of anybody else. Part of it is that he played for 4 years. Lloyd Phillips, because freshmen weren't eligible, only played 3 years. So some of the numbers that he was able to pile up were really impressive.
Yeah.
I got some good Billy Ray stories. We're going to get to some, but you probably have some more questions.
Well, I mean, it just, like you said, his college career is so decorated, like you said, with the All-Americans awards, played for 2 different coaches, was a team captain, school record 63 career tackles for loss. That record stood for a long time. You look at his pro career, spent his entire 10 years in San Diego, played in 126 games, 26.5 sacks, 15 interceptions. That's an incredible number. 13 forced fumbles, was the team defensive player of the year in 85 and 86, team MVP in 87, second team All-Pro in 89, and named to the Chargers' 50th anniversary team in 2009. And, we're talking about one of the most respected defensive players for the San Diego Chargers. And when you look at all-time players from Arkansas and where they were drafted, he was selected 5th overall in the 83 draft, making him also the first defensive player chosen that year, but still one of the highest drafted Razorbacks of all time.
He's a legacy player. His dad, Billy Ray Smith Sr. from Augusta, played for Curtis King over there, legendary program, high school program, Augusta, Arkansas. Golden Glove boxer, champion. Unfortunately, he was also prone for scrapes and scraps and stuff in the dorm and other things. He was a rounder, so to speak. Billy Ray Jr. was polished, probably coached by his mom on how to handle interviews, and the fun nature of his spirit came out in interviews. He was like a Tony Chirico guy that when you sit down, he was going to engage with you. My favorite Billy Ray Smith story came in the locker room after Arkansas tied SMU, Texas Stadium. You know, that SMU got the big pass interference penalty against Nathan Jones that, you know, everyone questions. And SMU went for a tie at the end of the game when they were in the running for a national championship, which was very much controversial with their own fans. Anyway, after the game, we're in the locker room. David Lanier, sports writer, I think he dressed out of the Goodwill store. And, I mean, he had like a paisley tie, a striped shirt, checkered pants, a little Scottish driving hat. I mean, it was like the most eclectic outfit ever. And he's standing in front of the Billy Ray's locker room. We're asking him for his thoughts. And David Lanier, who's very much low-key, deadpan guy that could just deliver the lines, and he's like, Billy Ray, what kind of tie was this? We've always heard ties like kissing your sister. It's either a good tie or a bad tie. And Billy Ray stood up and reached out and picked up David Lanier's tie in his hand, that paisley tie, and he goes, this is a bad tie. And we all just laughed. Coaches are looking around, what's Billy Ray got everybody laughing about? It was David Lanier's bad tie. So, I mean, his wit and his humor was just outrageous.
We've gotten a few texts about Billy Ray. Let's take a phone call here. Lance is in Fayetteville on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Lance, I know you have some thoughts on Billy Ray Smith.
Hey, yeah, us poor people in Central Arkansas would sit in the north end zone or in the south end zone. We were mostly in the south end zone. And so as a kid, I was able to watch Billy Ray. He would Don Lindsay was one of the people who converted the 5-2 defense into the 3-4 defense. If you draw it up on a piece of paper, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think Billy Ray was mostly at a 3-4 outside linebacker, basically, or if you want to call it a 5-2 defensive end.
He was a hybrid. Fine. He was a hybrid player.
Yeah, he would dip that left shoulder, and I think he was mostly on the right side, but I'm not sure about that. But he would dip that left shoulder, and he would come in like a guided missile and just wreak havoc. And, you know, War Memorial Stadium is where, you know, me and my brothers and my father, that's where we mostly saw the Razorbacks back then.
Lance, thanks for the call. We all have, if you're of a certain age, you got memories like Lance just laid out there with Billy Ray Smith Jr.
Can see him coming off the edge.
Yeah,
you bet. At 87.
He was a hybrid player before you really classified players.
Quickness, speed, technique.
Sad to hear of his passing yesterday at the age of 64. Billy Ray Smith Jr., one of the great Razorback defensive players of all time. Sadly gone at too young of an age. All right, Tom Murphy coming up in just a minute. He'll join the conversation. Clay Henry's here. Big C. I'm Tommy. If you got thoughts like Lance, you can call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, or you can listen along wherever you're traveling. Maybe you're headed to the Bahamas. You can do that with the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, joins us next here on the Morning Rush.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
Hey, Fort Smith, have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few, and have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro Outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
This is the Morning Rush.
What could you do with $10,000? Well, now's as good a time as any to find out. It's time for our very first Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources. Just visit us at 4515 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith and enter to win $10,000. While you're here, check out any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, WrathAutoFortSmith.com. No purchase necessary. See dealer for complete rules.
At Hardee's, we don't love bragging about the size of our original bag, but we do love bringing you the juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, crispy ham-breaded chicken tender wrap, or spicy chicken sandwich. All full-size choices, all faves. Plus, get fries and a drink, and all starting at just $5.99. When it comes to value, bigger is better. The original bag starting at just $5.99, only at Hardee's. Price may vary. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants. Tax not included. Not valid with any other offer, discount, or combo.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
There it is. For the ages.
Great things are happening at the Golf Nut. The all-new Titleist GTS drivers and fairway woods are in stock. Book your custom fitting today and check out the new Lab 2.1 and 2.2 putters along with special play number golf ball 0 through 99 in Pro V1 and Pro V1X. And while you're there, shop the great selection of Ghost golf bags, hats, and accessories. Everything you need for your game is at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny start with a chance of showers and storms building in today. A high this afternoon will be into the upper 80s to low 90s. Chance of a few showers and storms tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. On Friday, slight chance of a shower or storm across the north, otherwise partly sunny. A high low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 37 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light.
Can't drink all day unless you start early.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with an ice-cold Bud Light.
Morning on the dock, coffee in the cup, Arkansas on deck. Everybody wake up, tired, got the clubs out, chasing that green. Far off in Idaho, living the dream. Tommy on the mic, breaking it down. Scores on the board and the buzz in town. Razorback talk with a grin and a shout. We bring the heat when the sun comes out. One more swing, one more call. Who's on top? Who's set to fall? Roll that tape, let it fly. Tying Idaho, Tommy on the rise. It's Tommy, let it run. Morning rush, we've just begun. Tying Tommy, swinging shout. Arkansas, all the way out loud. Tying Tommy, here we go. From the tee box to the studio. Tying Tommy, raise it high. We start today and we light the sky.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston with Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Glad you're here. Hour 2 of a Thursday edition of the Morning Rush rolls on. Clay Henry sitting in with me today. Ty is away on a, I don't know if I'd say much needed vacation, but another recent vacation. No weddings are involved. Golf is involved, and it's, as I said last hour, one of the few times I might actually be jealous of Ty. He's playing golf in Idaho. We're here baking in the heat, which we got a little relief with some rain yesterday, so that was nice.
Do you think he would ever go to a stranger's wedding, just show up and
be
like,
a crasher?
I think he's done it.
I think he probably, they could make a movie on him.
Well, I mean, I think he showed up some weddings, and they're like, "Who are you?" And it's like, "Oh, you're the long lost cousin from Arkansas."
He has a plan worked out. I promise you it. He's got the gift of gab, knows what to say. We had a text earlier.
Golf in Idaho is pretty good spot, isn't it?
It was he's playing at one of these places got a true island green that you have to take a boat to get to the green.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I've seen this. It's Coeur d'Alene, or it's like one of those courses. The name, and I'm probably
resort.
It looks beautiful. I've seen it online. It's outstanding. So, but I think Ryan in Prairie Grove has the right. Hell, Ty's probably in Iowa and thinks he's in Idaho. That wouldn't surprise me either. So, hey, we're brought to you. Tom Murphy coming up in just a few minutes. He's going to join us here on the show. We'll have a good conversation with Tom about a variety of things, including the fall camp schedule, the football team less than a week away. We'll talk some basketball, and we'll see if we have time to get back to the baseball conversation as well. Uncork's on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. It's next door to Sodi's. If you want something a little more upscale, if you want an adult night out, Uncork's the place we always choose. We love it because they got a great selection. I like a good bourbon. They got a great selection. Weller's is one of my favorite. They always have the green label on the shelf. Don't have to worry about it. But if you want a Blanton's or you want, a particular Angel's Envy, they've got, dozens and dozens of bourbons. They've got more wine and selection of wine than anywhere you're going to find. I don't know how many beers on tap behind the bar there, but they have got a lot of IPAs and a lot of, local beer, craft beers. I mean, it's pretty incredible, the selection they have there as well. And when it comes to their wines, as mentioned that a minute ago, their selection, they're called Endomatic machines, where you can get a card, like a gift card, you swipe on the machines, and you can pour an ounce. Boy, I don't know if I want to invest in a whole glass of that. Let me try that. Or you have an ounce, you say, that's really good. And you're like, Clay, pour the glass full. Give me a whole goblet full, Clay and I
come to my house and I'll pull you a full glass.
A full glass. Me and Clay have shared a few bottles of wine over the years. So
we have?
Yeah, at my house, a few. We had some wine over some steaks one night. So
We did do that.
We did. We've done that a time or two. But anyway, great wines, great bourbons, great menu. They got these spicy meatballs that are really good. They've got. Have you ever had a fried deviled egg, Clay?
No, but I like deviled eggs.
I love deviled eggs. And you think fried deviled egg? Question mark. I'm gonna tell you.
We'll eat 3 deviled eggs.
Uncorked on Phoenix has the fried deviled eggs that are just incredible. Get your reservations for the weekend. Uncorkthefort.com is their website. Stop in and see them. Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's in Fort Smith. If we weren't going to do that this weekend, I guess we could be in the Bahamas. I don't know how we didn't draw that assignment. Tom Murphy joins us now, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports. Tom, how did you not get the assignment? I know football camp is starting soon, but did you not pull rank and say, hey, I think I need to cover the basketball team on this deal?
Oh, that's a great question, Tommy. I've already been to one tropical clime, Tampa, and Anthony Christensen obviously does a great job covering the men's basketball, and he'll be doing that. I didn't even try, man. With football this close, we got too much on our plate.
Clay and I were going over the practice schedule. It came out yesterday. We all knew it's about when it was going to start. It was just a matter of particulars. We've given some thoughts about the scrimmage schedule, about the times of the practice. What were some of your takeaways on the 25 practices that start next week ahead of the North Alabama game on September 5th?
Well, I haven't drilled down super hard, although I know there's a Sunday scrimmage on the 9th.
16th.
And then
16th.
And okay, so then they do one 6 days later. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Got to be some logic in place there. But, I'm not sure if I've ever covered a Sunday scrimmage in all my years doing camp. Clay, have you ever done that?
No, I can remember Bobby Trino's first year, he had a Sunday practice in spring, and I got a call from a local pastor. He's pretty famous. And he wanted to march in there and protest. And I said, you go ahead, big boy. I want to be behind the door and listening. I went, Clorinda, can I just stand right out here?
Yeah.
I don't think he challenged the head coach on whether he could have a Sunday practice or not. But that is odd. It just, in the Deep South, you don't have too many Sunday practices, I don't think.
No.
Scrimmages. Now, Tom, 2 scrimmages. Is that about norm for the fall? Tommy and I were talking about that. Does that seem right, or should there be one more?
Seemed like to me there's usually 2 large ones, and then more of a modified one, and then you have your, obviously your mock game. But I do think that coaches are now scaling that down some. I mean, they had 2 in the spring, and then didn't do anything like I think the 3rd weekend, and then had the red-white game. So I think they really only had 3 super major tackling deals in the spring. So, look, here's what I know from talking to a lot of people about Ryan Silverfield. They're going to grind in this camp. There are going to be times where the players are like, what is this guy doing? I don't like him. He said, but when it's all said and done, they're going to be unified and wanting to play for him. We'll see how that plays out. But Sunday scrimmages are definitely a little different. Here's the way I look at camp. They put the schedule in front of me, and I go cover it. When I first got here, Houston Nuts were wide open, and you would cover the whole morning one and then be feeling burned up and have to go in and transcribe tape, feeling hot, and then start working on stories, and then you'd go back to the second one and get further burned up. This one will be a lot more limited, so for us, it's a little bit easier to cover.
Tom Murphy with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I would imagine Ryan Silverfield and Tim Cramsey will handle it like we've seen across college football. The quarterback will be off limits, but I am interested in how a coach, what his philosophy is and how he goes about how much contact, if any at all, is allowed on his quarterback. That will be something I guess we're all trying to gauge to whatever degree when these practices begin and the full pads start. Are they allowing anything with the quarterback?
Well, yeah, we'll be asking Silverfield about that when we talk to him next week early. And, they had floated the idea of possibly letting guys kind of touch the quarterback in spring, and that did not happen. It's just too risky. Back when I was a young cub reporter in Louisiana, the Northwestern coach at the time, and I think his name was Sam Goodwin, but don't hold me to that. They got 3 quarterbacks hurt in camp. going into the season. And so that kind of like shot their season. I think they were down to their fourth quarterback, and I can't remember one of the three guys came back because they were a run team. And that's one thing about this particular squad that we saw KJ run a little bit last year. Obviously, it was a huge part of what Bobby Petrino was doing. But this is also an RPO game system Cramsey runs, and we didn't see a ton of that. So how much they run things that give Jackson and Hill a chance to get on the perimeter and outnumber defenses sometimes is going to be a real puzzler once we get into this season.
Tom, the everyone says this offense is simpler than what Petrino. And I think any offense is probably simpler than Petrino's. How much do you think that's going to help these quarterbacks as they go forward this year as far as eliminating turnovers?
Right. Well, I do hope it helps them have so their decision making isn't as dense as what Taylor Green went. We clearly saw Taylor Green several times in the last 2 years get locked up by analysis and where his read was supposed to go, and it is very complex and difficult. And Ryan Mallett would have told you, Tyler Wilson tells you that. So hopefully for these guys, it's either okay, I see this and I check to that, and then if they do this, then I have this other option. Hopefully it's not as tricky for them, and it's easier for them to make decisions. Of course, there's always going to be the chess game out there on what defensive coordinators want to show, what they want to switch to, and then what they ultimately get to that tries to confuse them. But all in all, yes, I think it will be better for it to be simplified for these guys because there's going to be a lot of quick throws on the edges, the little bubble screens and things like that we're going to see they employ this year.
One thing that also stood out to me, guys, is 3:15 for the start times on the first three practices next week without pads, 3:15 the following week when they start going full pads, a 2:30 afternoon practice on that Saturday, the 15th. I like it because you're not avoiding the heat of the day. And what time is the first game? It's at 3:15 in the afternoon. So they're doing a number of these practices, the first 9 in the heat of the day. I think that's really important to practice at the time you're going to play your first one.
Yeah, it's clever. And that's the grind that I'm talking about. And, it's a weird calendar thing this year where school starts a little earlier, and so the actually full-fledged camp is shorter than normal. The first 9 practices, Ryan Silverfield said, in Tampa were where they have to get all their stuff in because then when school starts, they're going to go back. They're going to go to the morning practices. And so it's not a great scenario, I think, for a first-year coach, but they're going to have to cope with that. And, honestly, they should be able to do whatever, against North Alabama and win handily. But they got to be ready for week 2 to be a strong performance out in Utah.
Question for both of you here. I know there's only 2 scrimmages listed, but honestly, once you get to midway through the camp and you've had those full-fledged scrimmages, I mean, there's enough team, a full-scale practice, enough periods of practice. There's elements of scrimmage every day. So it's not like that, even in those practices the week prior to the game. Tom, I'll start with your response, and then Clay, I want to hear what you think. It's not like they're not going to be evaluating multiple periods in practice where it's good on good and getting an idea of what they really have and deciding those position battles once and for all.
Oh, absolutely. There'll be a ton of team periods. I'm not sure how much we'll be witness to, but there'll be a ton of team periods where they're making all those evaluations, and there'll be a lot of thud work and stuff like that. And also, I don't keep up with what the calendar says you can do for live tackling, but I think it's also interspersed. Like you can do it for 3 periods or, a 20-minute period on so many given days. So, I think there's going to be plenty of live tackling for these guys to make their evaluation.
I'm not sure that anybody keeps up with the rules, Tom.
Probably right there. I mean, Clay, we mentioned it earlier, just 2 scrimmages on the schedule. To me, that doesn't mean a lot. I mean, they're going to be scrimmaging in smaller segments of practice, but they're going to know what they've got regardless if the practice carries the title of a scrimmage or not.
You probably be careful with your 1s, but you're really still trying to figure out, okay, who are your 2s and 3s? Or any of these freshmen that you didn't really get to see much in the spring, have they developed over the course of the summer, or are they able to get on the bus for special teams? I mean, you don't have long to figure out what your traveling party to Utah is. And that's what they're, everybody is like, trying to figure out who the quarterback is. They're trying to figure out who they're going to take on the road for special teams. They've got to figure this out in the next 3 weeks.
I agree. And trying to just, get to the bottom of it from a depth standpoint, because it's not just who can help you on punt return. It's also who can be the third string, corner on defense as well, that has the skills.
How much
to do
value
both.
do you have?
Right.
How many things can you
How
do?
versatile are you? So, Tom, I know the number one question on our listeners' minds, everyone's mind, is the quarterback battle. And when we figure out if it's KJ or AJ, I know Ryan at Media Days, said it's going to go well into camp. What are your thoughts? I mean, is this something we find out when we get the depth chart on that Monday, the 31st of August, in front of the North Alabama game, or do you think there will be an indication sooner than that throughout camp?
Yeah, my instincts tell me that we're going to have a pretty good idea, like in the periods we see who goes with the ones more often and things like that. I'm assuming that KJ has an edge going in, although Tim Cramsey said A.J. Hill's completion percentage, I think, was 71 point something, was higher in the spring, but very marginally than KJ's. But, yes, I think we'll have clear indications. But to me, like Clay mentioned about filling out your chart and your special teams, there's a lot of cool position things that, we need to see, like linebacker. I thought the Smith kid transfer was really solid, but in the spring game he didn't do a lot. And then they had Jackson and another linebacker, I think, that were really dinged up. So, how far up the depth chart will these guys be able to get, or are you getting to your younger guys a little sooner behind Shaw? So that one's going to be interesting to me. Still, to me, there's a lot of safety and cornerback depth that needs to be sorted, because there were some guys dinged up in spring at those spots as well. And those are going to be a lot of guys who make up your coverage teams and things like that.
Tom, we got the news yesterday, the passing of Billy Ray Smith Jr. I know a player that, you grew up in our state. That's not a name that if you've covered this program or been around it at all that you don't know. But just your thoughts before we go on one of the legends on the defensive side of the ball. Great 10-year NFL career, great broadcasting career in San Diego. Lost way too soon at the age of 64, Billy Ray Smith Jr.
Yes, he was. It's been a rough run in the last several months for former Razorbacks who were, guys largely in the trenches or running backs taking a lot of hits that, ended up with some CTE issues. And Matt did a good job, Matt Jones, writing the obituary that was we posted last night on him. Kevin Scanlon, obviously great praise, a teammate in his first season, Billy Ray's, and talked him up. And just, I think what I took from it the most, obviously great football player, but a super good human off the field as well. So he did make his life and career out in San Diego, married a lovely wife, and she was a news anchor out there, so I get that. But so Arkansan didn't have as much touchstone with him as they did, say, a Bill Burnett or a Jim Lindsay. But still, a tremendous Razorback, and just gone too soon, as you said.
All right, Tom, we'll regroup again on Tuesday with you. We'll talk some basketball from the weekend in the Bahamas, and we'll be a day in front of the first practice when we talk again.
Yeah, I like the sound of it. Take care, guys.
Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat, is at Whole Hog Sports with us here on a Thursday edition of the Morning Rush. When the workday is done, that's when the good stuff begins, whether it's fishing, off-roading, or just enjoying the great outdoors. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas can help make it happen. Visit myaglender.com or drop by any one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today and start making the most of your time off. I couldn't help but think about this as Tom brought up a point I hadn't tied together in my own mind, the loss of Bill Burnett. Jim Lindsay's service was last week. I know you were there, Clay. And then we hear about the passing of Billy Ray Smith Jr. All three suffered from dementia in their final days, CTE. I don't think there's any doubt that, the tide of football, the common denominator of the sport, the contact, it's kind of evident and pretty scary at the same time when you see those three guys that were legendary names in our state all have the same, fate at the end.
Yeah, it's there's too much of that, and I've been around it with some great players. It's obvious that that's what they've got. The dementia and the CTE lineup. You don't know CTE until there's an autopsy post-death. So when you say signs of CTE, they're pretty obvious, but you don't get the true diagnosis until the autopsy. And sometimes they skip that. Doesn't really matter. Billy Ray was a fun dude. He was engaging. Bright, brilliant in the way he played the game, and he was perfect in technique. His dad taught him well. I mean, there's legendary stories about how they put the kitchen chairs, moved the kitchen table out of the dining room, lined up the chairs, and taught him technique and how to shoot gaps in the living room. It's just, but. Yeah,
I bet Mama Smith wasn't as excited about that as father and son were.
Yeah, but I think she did a great job with Billy Ray too. Her personality came out in Billy Ray Jr. And he was a great player from the first day he stepped on campus. Started as a true freshman, was a factor as a true freshman. Could not block him. Just a great person, great player. Impactful. When you make a tackle for loss, the whole stadium sees it. You know what kind of player he was, and he did that. Kevin Scanlon mentioned in Matt's story, one of the first scrimmages they had, he turned around, in a play action passing situation, turned around with the ball in a scrimmage, and Billy Ray just plastered him. I mean, a freshman. He's like, "Oh, that's Billy Ray Smith."
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fayetteville. Hey, the Bet Saracen app's there. I know that we're in the dog days of summer, Major League Baseball, soccer. You'll find the WNBA all there as well, but also preseason lines and things for the NFL, which start their preseason games soon. And then also you'll find college football early season lines all available with the Bet Saracen app. All right, I got more from baseball I want to get to. Let's do that on the other side of the break, Clay, because there's more from Dave Van Horn earlier this week. We'll do a quick SEC update and get you caught up on what's happening around the league, and we will do all of that next here on the Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with... kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Tradition lives here.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
The Arkansas Department of Transportation reminds you there is zero tolerance for handheld devices in highway construction zones, which are hands-free by law. And always slow down when you see orange barrels. Help us keep road workers and drivers safe. We all want to get home at the end of the day. Just remember, slow down, phone down. It only takes a second to change your life or someone else's. This message from the Arkansas Department of Transportation, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Kenny here to help you ignite your taste buds with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Juicy cherry, citrus lime, and blue raspberry. It's that iconic freezer pop flavor, but with none of the guilty sugar aftermath. The perfect summer kick. It's a delicious, portable, zero-sugar energy shot bursting with flavor. Bring on summer with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there, yes.
Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Obviously not a lot of SEC news going on as we're awaiting the start of camps around the league. But one of the interesting things, Clay, that came out for our SEC update, ESPN Analytics released the 2026 preseason strengths of schedule in college football. And you think about the 9 games and now playing 9 SEC schedules, that can't do anything but make how difficult the league schedules are even stronger. And the strength of schedules, as you would imagine, have been bolstered by an additional conference game, according to ESPN Analytics. We've talked about it before. No surprise at all that Arkansas has got the number one strength of schedule and is the toughest schedule in America. But when you look through it, Oklahoma's at 2. Texas, I know you feel sorry for them, Clay. They're at number 3. They got a hard schedule. Feel bad for Texas. Kentucky's in there at 4. Ole Miss at 5. Mississippi State at 6. Florida at 7. The first non-SEC team on strength of schedule that you get to, Ohio State at 8.
That's because they play Texas.
And that's because they play Texas. That's exactly right. A&M is at 9. South Carolina at 10. LSU, followed by Missouri, Auburn. Tennessee at 14. Alabama at 15. Then here comes Michigan again. They play Ohio State and other Big Ten schools. They're at 16. They also have a SEC school. Who is it they're playing? I can't read the schedule all the way across the room. They're Big C, but they have a non-con game, I believe.
At Oklahoma again?
Northwestern at 17. Vandy at 18. USC and Lincoln Riley at 19 and Georgia at 20. I believe that's every SEC school is inside the top 20 of the strength of schedule.
It's not a surprise. I mean, I think we knew that when you added that extra SEC game, and then you also have a Power 4 team that you play, like Arkansas plays Utah. I mean, playing at Utah probably clinched it for Arkansas. That does not look like a winnable game to me.
Yeah, Oklahoma's at Michigan, by the way, week 2.
So. Yeah, they played Michigan last year. That made sense. Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at it, I mentioned Ohio State, Michigan, Northwestern, and USC. All Big Ten schools, the only ones. And the SEC, all 16 schools in the top 20 of strength of schedule.
Where do we have Notre Dame? Do you even see them on that list?
No. I've only got the top 20 here in my hand, and no.
That tells you all you really need to know about Notre Dame.
Yeah, so
they have picked out the lightweights for a long time.
So, all right, that's your SEC update. It is brought to you today by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great place for lunch today. Chips, they make them fresh every morning. They're crispy. They're hot. I like to take a little bit of the salt shaker. Doctor probably doesn't like that, but I'm still going to salt them up a little bit. I'm going to take their house salsa, and they got this new stuff, and generally they bring it, but if not asked for it, it's their new hot salsa, and it won't burn you out. I mean, it's not like, level 9 or something, but I like to blend the two. It is a great tasting treat to start your meal, and it's just the right amount of heat for me. Try it. I think you'll like it. Spinach, steak, and mushroom enchilada is one of my favorites. I was talking with Wade yesterday. He said, next time you're in, do the same thing in a quesadilla with a steak, spinach, mushroom quesadilla. And that sounds pretty good as well, although their enchilada sauce is outstanding. Taco salads are really popular this time of the year with them. And I've been told I've got to try this. I never go to a Mexican restaurant or a Tex-Mex restaurant and order the burger. But people just rave about the cheeseburger at Joe's. So I'm going to have to try that out as well. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. Be a great place for lunch today. And they've also got them cold libations on tap to cool you off on a hot summer day. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina. Let's get back to some baseball. I don't think we've talked enough baseball with you, Clay. But one thing Dave Van Horn does is a great job of just how the cow eats the cabbage. Tells you the good and the bad following the season. He's not always as candid during the course of the season, but afterwards, pretty well tells you how it is. And one thing he was really proud of the other day was some guys that signed their deals, got drafted high, did well for themselves financially. And you have to start the conversation. I want to play what he said about his catcher, and particularly in Ryder Helfrich, who came in. Wasn't always sure whether or not he was going to end up where he has in this draft, but he couldn't have been more proud of Ryder Helfrich and how it ended up for him with the draft.
he's super happy about it. I look at Ryder Helfrich comes in here and we're like, yeah, this guy's going to be really good. Didn't hit for an average as a freshman, but we started hitting him, but catching him in midweeks. We knew he was going to be our guy. And then obviously last year as a sophomore, he's really good. And then the junior year, he's even better and hit for power and played every day for the most part. That's 20 points off your batting average easy right there, just because you're a little tired, legs are a little tired, you miss hit some balls. And just, Kojal, think about him, come in here and we come in second on him out of high school. We end up getting him a year later. And then, man, he had a good year. Maybe played out of position, but he did the best he could. And he actually did a really nice job playing short, hit for power, hit for average, great leader, strong. Just, you couldn't ask for anything more.
And Kojal got hot bat at the right time down the stretch in some places. But back to Ryder Helfrich, Clay. I think catcher's maybe one of the harder positions in all of sports to play because of the physical requirements of it. But I don't know where he ranks. You've seen a lot of great catchers over the last 10 or 15 years at Arkansas. There's a few of them that have made it to the show and stayed there a while. Where's Ryder Helfrich in your mind amongst some of the really good catchers that have come through Arkansas?
Well, let's just go all the way back and we'll talk about Tom Pagnozzi. He played 1 year at Arkansas, but you could see that he could hit, and the Cardinals drafted him pretty high. But we've had good catchers here. James McCann, he's 15 years in the big leagues. I mean, it's and by the way, he's red hot. He's raised his average to, I think 260. He's hit 480 in the last 15 games. He'll get to play again next year, but here's what Ryder Helfrich has that James McCann has. He's got the mental aptitude to call pitches and work with his pitchers. And that's why he's going to just soar through minor league baseball. The fastest track to Major League Baseball is the ability of a catcher to run a staff. And Ryder Helfrich, that's one of the reasons why they got Ryder Helfrich is that they told him that he would be able to call his own pitches.
So how much of that, obviously a lot of that's knowing the guys on staff, their strengths, being able to pick up where they're at through the course of a game. It's not just knowing your spot as a pitcher. It's calling plays, but you got a different playbook for each pitcher.
Well, you credit him for being able to do it. You credit Matt Hobbs and Bobby Wernes. Bobby Wernes coaches the catchers. But you credit them for coaching them on how to call a game. Now, he's got an earpiece. If they want to call in a pitch, they can, and they do. But I think it's great tutelage by your pitching coach, because he's training him on how he wants to approach each batter. They have scouting reports, in-depth scouting reports. They really have a lot of data and film available to them. But the catcher has the best look. He's there. He can tell when a guy moves up in the box 6 inches, expecting an off speed. He can see when he's stepping back in the box a little bit further from home plate. He's not going to be able to hit that off speed on the outside. So they can't see that from the side. So that's why they allow their catchers because they can look up and see what's going on with this hitter. But he's as good as Arkansas has ever had defensively, being able to throw, block, and call pitches.
You mentioned Bobby Wernes there and his work with the catchers. Bobby Wernes is also a big part of the recruiting at Arkansas. And something new and different this year is an international player from Japan, and Dave kind of laid out how that happened, that Bobby Wernes was right in the middle of working through all the details, as you can imagine, to get a player from Japan. Here's what Dave said earlier this week about Bobby and how all this came about with Arkansas's first player from Asia and one from Japan.
The way I hear, Bobby Wernes was the one who, was really in charge of that, so to speak, and, stuck with it. And basically his agency, it's a new agency, been out there a couple of years. They're, trying to really help kids, get to the United States to play from wherever they are. It was one that we thought might be able to help us. And, It sounded like that he truly wanted to come over here and that he might not sign professional contract over there. And so we hung in there with him and give Bobby the credit for that one. We got him.
One of the reasons I think Bobby Warren is going to be a head coach sooner rather than later. But interesting that Arkansas is going to have a player from Japan come in and pitch. And Dave's taking this thing international, if you will, Clay.
Yeah, we had a Korean player a couple of years ago. He didn't ever make it into the, like the regular rotation. But so this would be number 2 as far as Oriental, Asian, however you want to label that. What you see with the Japanese pitchers is a complete arsenal. They are able to do things with the ball that most 17, 18-year-olds can't. You'll see guys come in here and they might have 1 or 2 pitches. They don't usually have 3 or 4. That comes later. So he's advanced, had multiple out pitches as a young player, 15, 16-year-old, and he is considered a prodigy. And there'll be some Razorback gear sold in Japan now. It's kind of, that's just the way that works.
Yeah, so this will be interesting. And I think another thing as we get closer, we'll drill down on. But I know it's July the 30th, and we're talking about, the basketball team this weekend, and we're talking about football practice starts in less than a week. But, right after that is the start of fall practice for baseball. And for the diehards, that's as interesting as anything else in the fall, and maybe more interesting than the football team to the diehard Razorback baseball fans. You're going to get a good look at some of these guys and the inter-squad scrimmages, and I know you'll go to the –
There's 4 of them.
You'll go to those, Clay, and those will be highly competitive, I would imagine.
Are you talking about just Arkansas playing Arkansas?
Yeah, I'm talking about fall ball.
The scouts tell me that the fall scrimmages that the Razorbacks have are like watching a regional. In other words, you've got 2 teams, the first team and the second. The second team would make a regional at most schools. That's how talented.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To be highly competitive is how.
Yeah, and then you're going to have 4 scrimmages, or I'd say exhibitions. They've gone from 2 to 4.
That's new. Yeah, that's right.
And I think there'll be 3 in-state schools. I would guess that Little Rock, Trojans, UCA Bears, maybe one other. I don't know who the third. Maybe Arkansas State comes over. That seems to be in vogue now. And then you're going to have a Texas school. I would imagine it's Dallas Baptist. They came up last year, and they thought that was useful for their program. But so just pay attention when these dates are announced, because it's going to be free attendance. They'll have concessions. There'll be night. Falls in Fayetteville are great in as far as the night baseball, and I think it'll be worthwhile to attend.
And real quick, because you've got a better feel, and Matt Jones with Whole Hog Sports really does. But now with the roster reconstruction, the scholarship stuff, you used to have to go through fall ball and kind of earn your way on the roster. And there was always guys that moved on to JUCO or hit the portal, went elsewhere. But walk us through that, because I don't have a full grasp of it. But fall doesn't quite have the same impact on the roster that it did 2 or 3 years ago.
No, it's. I mean, I think it's 41 players, and they've had as many as 50.
And it's 35 scholarships now, right?
But they can have what they. I can't remember what the word of it is. There's a weird student athlete position or something. I don't know. It's a weird name, but they can count certain number of players back, and so they'll be able to carry more than the 35.
Yeah.
But it's.
But they're not. I guess my point is, 10 or 15 were always leaving after. There was always
these guys are pretty much going to stay.
Right. It's not the way it was where Dave was basically having
to as fluid.
Cut some guys that just weren't going to make it. So fall will be different in that respect as well.
Yeah. So let's revisit what you just said. The way that works is that Dave is once they finish fall ball, he'll sit down with guys and say, "This is your role the way we see it," and it's not going to be many at bats for you. You want more at bats. Maybe you spend a year in junior college, and so there'll be some guys. They won't get cut. They'll they'll be allowed once you come to
They'll
campus.
be shown their options.
Yeah. Well, you're just not going to play.
Yeah.
You're going to redshirt. And the worst thing for a baseball player is not getting to play.
Mm-hmm.
You want at bats. Sitting out is not a good thing for a baseball player.
Yeah.
Redshirt. Usually it's because of one of the guys that I'm anxious to see this fall is Brenton Clark. He had shoulder surgery and missed last season. He was going to be the starting left fielder. So there's some interesting battles that'll happen this spring. You're right about that.
It'll be in the background for many of us, but we will pay attention to that. All right, real quick before we go, I want to tell you about Gaston's White River Resort. I got the perfect guy right here to tell me what's been happening on the White River. I don't know how much you've gotten out in the heat of the day and fish, but
a lot.
Tell me how the fishing is in and around the tailwaters there at Bull Shoals, and why that's the premier spot right now.
So in the last 2 weeks, I had a little bit of a catching up for all my chores when I got back from Montana. I got that knocked out. In the last 2 weeks, I think I fished 6 days, and we've had a lot of low water in the mornings, and then with the peak electricity for air conditioning, the heat, they've turned on heavy generation in the afternoons. But you can fish wade in low water. I've gone to Bull Shoals Dam. I did pretty good up there. I went to Narrows, Wildcat, Roundhouse. That's all in the white. And then I fished 3 days in the Norfolk, both in the lower Norfolk and the upper Norfolk up by your house. I've had a lot of good days. And I want to tell you, the flies that I've used, it's been the root beer midge. And then when that didn't work, I switched to a root beer midge.
So,
does that tell you anything?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't even say Ruby
I'm a
Midge.
broken record.
Yeah.
I'm a broken record.
Yeah. Hey, Gaston's is the place, whether you want to fly fish like Clay, they've got guides that do exclusively fly fishing. And then if you want to bait fish like I do, they will take you out. The thing I love.
Cheating.
Well, but if you want to have a great day, you want to take kids, you want to have fun, you don't want to be frustrated, all these things, because, I've got my fly rod all wrapped up in a tree because I'm not a pro at it like Clay. They'll just take you out in the boat and they take care of everything. I mean, it's full service when you use the guides at Gaston's. 870-431-5202 is the number. And yeah, I'm going to bait cast and I'm going to cheat like Clay says.
That's not cheating. I've done it. I do it.
870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
So I'm hearing all about this AI stuff.
This is the Morning Rush.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with the CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
The NFL schedule dropped, and it's time to settle up. There's road trips to plan, hotels to book, tickets to split, tailgates to cover, and scores to settle. All the things for the season. But now, when you send $10 or more to a friend with PayPal by May 28th, you can win 2 tickets to every home game of your favorite team. Yep, the entire season. Visit paypal.com/P2P sweeps. No purchase is necessary. See websites for details, including how to enter by mail. Brought to you by PayPal, official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL.
What could you do with $10,000? Well, now's as good a time as any to find out. It's time for our very first Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources. Just visit us at 4515 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith and enter to win $10,000. While you're here, check out any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, WrathAutoFortSmith.com. No purchase necessary. See dealer for complete rules.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors is having a good old summertime sale on all summer clothing. Save up to 50% off on select Ariat, Burlebo, Drake, Habit, Hook, Local Boy, and Wrangler clothing. Check out the best deal in town on Ariat and Wrangler blue jeans. Buy 2 pair, get a 3rd free. Bow hunters, come see us for getting your bow ready. Great deals on Elite, Hoyt, and Matthews bows. Close out the summer with savings at Jelco Outdoors. Remember, work, fish, hunt. That's what we do at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
Well, we got 37 days till Arkansas and North Alabama tee it up at 3:15 in the afternoon at Razorback Stadium. I guess next year will be Community America Razorback Stadium. If you're making plans now for weekends in Fayetteville, the Inn at the Mill is the place you should call to get your room reserved, 479-443-1800. 443-1800. Jennifer's there this morning. She can help you with room reservations for football weekends or any other time you need a little getaway or a business trip or whatever. 443-1800 or online at innatthemill.com. Greatest place to stay. It's right in the middle of everything, just off the Johnson exit. Clay, solid show today. We've kind of touched on everything. Basketball team, we'll dig into that a little bit more. I mean, I don't know how much meat's on the bone of an exhibition game in the Bahamas, but I really think there's a lot of interest in what this team will look like.
Run and jump and shoot. Yeah.
I want to see what we got. I mean, I am interested in just what do we have. So
long, lean, and mean.
And if you're and
young,
a lot of people will be looking for things to do inside this weekend as hot as it might be.
Daryl Roll's old quote: "If a pup's gonna bite, it'll bite you as a pup."
Mm-hmm. Well, 9
or
freshmen,
dog, yeah.
and then a redshirt freshman. I guess 8 freshmen and a redshirt freshman. So this is a
That's
young
Coach
basketball
Cal's style.
That's his style, and I he said he didn't want to be a hypocrite by going out and just loading up with 24 and 25-year-olds. So anyway, that'll be fun. Tomorrow we got a full show for you. We'll do our Fence Man Friday picks and get into that, kind of get you ready for the weekend. I'm not sure what we're going to be picking other than maybe some Major League Baseball game. Maybe we'll pick the high temperature in all the big towns in Fort Smith or in Arkansas. Fort Smith, Little Rock, Fayetteville. That might be the fun game that we guess at for this weekend. So we'll do all of that coming tomorrow. Clay, you coming back for another round of this tomorrow?
I am.
Can you play the role of Ty Richardson one more day?
How about if I just be Clay?
All right, we'll do all that. So
I had fun, Tommy.
It's
Glad
been
you
fun.
invited me.
Yeah. So Clay's back with us tomorrow. Halftime coming up. Alyssa, Colton, and a Razorback lad. Just saw him down the hallway. Matt Jones, all coming up
The
here.
bearded one.
The bearded one, all on the way. With that, Ruskin and Zach will be along the way at 2 o'clock today as well. All right, Clay, safe travels today, and let's reconvene tomorrow in about 22 hours. We'll do it again.
Thank you, Tommy.
All right, Hall of Famer Clay Henry. You can read him, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, joining us here for this edition of the Morning Rush. For Clay and Big C, I'm Tommy Kraft. Have a great day. Stay cool out there. This has been the Morning Rush. Halftime is next on ESPN Arkansas, and they hit that line now out, powered by Taco Bell.
The Saracen Casino Hotel is now open and accepting reservations. Saracen's new 14-story